Senator, we spoke a few months ago and we spoke about the national debt. We also were able to connect right after the debate between President Biden and former President Donald Trump. And at the time, you did say that his performance did make you sad, Biden's that is, but you think he should have stayed in the race. Now it's almost 3 months to the day since that debate. He has, as we know, dropped out. Harris is now at the top of the ticket. What do you think of how it all went down? Do you think Biden made the right decision to step out? And are you happy with Harris at the top?
Yes to both questions. She's overperformed she's run for president before, but to go from zero to a full-blown campaign in a short period of time like this is not easy. Because it's not just about going out and giving speeches. But so she's generated far more excitement. As much as I like Joe, she came to Omaha. Waltz came to Omaha actually because he's from Nebraska. Came to Omaha. It was like 10,000 people showed up. We don't get that kind of audience except for football games. So it's startling the kind of grassroots enthusiasm there is, the number of people showing up for events or registering to vote, and that's good. I think her policies are good. I prefer them to Trump, so I hope she wins. But independent of that, there's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot more enthusiasm than there was when Joe was at the top of the ticket. He was showing that he was going to have difficulty winning. He wasn't generating, and when I campaigned for him, I saw it as well. Not that he showed any decline. He's just not one of those guys that's terribly exciting. I'd go out there in Iowa and there'd be like 20 people show up, and down the street, Bernie Sanders was there with like 5,000 people showing up. So it's a good thing in some ways because it means he's focused on the issues, and the issues can get real boring. But what Kamala has done is demonstrated there's a lot of excitement still for what the Democratic Party is trying to get done. The Democratic agenda under her leadership, I think, is going to excite more and more people all the way through the election.
There was a lot of excitement. There still is a lot of excitement. And it has been described, her campaign, as high on vibes, a little light on policy, because when you think of the top issues facing Americans, it is the economy, it is inflation, it is immigration, amongst other things. And there are two key questions here. What do you say to her? What do you say to the fact that people feel the economy was better under Trump opposed to President Biden and the Biden administration, and that the policies she's proposing sound great? Where have they been the last 3.5 years? How do you think in her short campaign she's been able to answer these?
They're tough questions to answer. I mean, she's got to establish her own persona, and I think she's done that. I mean, the idea that we don't know what her policy are is massively frustrating. I mean, they know what her voting record was. They know what she did when she was vice president. They know what she did when she was in the Senate. They may like, dislike, but it's not like she hasn't disclosed what she's for. She's got a lot of things that are completely on the record. She's establishing her independence. I think her speech at the Economic Council was good. But my God, I mean, who'd have thought that the alternative is going to be Donald Trump, who's for a 200% tariff on Chinese cars. The Republicans have been against tariffs. They've been a free trade party. And his policies on the economy keep like changing every day. So I think it's a little bit unfair, but so what? She's got to be sharper and let people know what she's going to do in the future. I think there's a good case that her economic plan is better. What she wants to do with the economy is going to be fair and stronger and better than what former President Trump is proposing. But she's got to continue to make that case. And immigration, she's got a simple response. You had a bipartisan bill, and the president killed it. But whether that turns into 270 electoral votes, I don't know. You're not. As a reporter, you're not going to be able to tell us who won the election on the night of the election. Pennsylvania's not going to get called. Georgia's not going to get called. There'll be lots of states that are not going to be called right away. And right away, yeah. In some cases, it could be. You're going to say something. I kept talking. I'm sorry.
No. I was just going to make a joke. I was going to say my calendar is clear from November 5th on for the next week at least, because it appears that it is going to be that tight of a race. And she has become more moderate in her views since she ran for president 4 years ago. She flip-flopped on fracking. She's more moderate when it comes to immigration policies. Do you think this is a good thing?
Of course it's a good thing. You show me that never changes their mind, and I'll show you somebody that I don't trust, especially when you're dealing with national issues. And by the way, fracking, and I hear the president and Secretary and Senator Vance say we're gonna double fracking, and that's gonna be better for us. Natural gas prices are almost zero. The problem is you do have in the end supply and demand at stake, and we produce a lot of natural gas, and that's good. It's given us energy independence, but it lowers the price. You're not going to create higher prices for natural gas by producing more of it. Not now. So it may be a winning political issue, but if you're just looking at the economics, you could be opposed to fracking and not for fracking, and you have to make a case you should have been the other way around. You should have been before it now, and maybe against it today. In order to, if you're concerned about the price of natural gas and the survivability of those industries, I don't know which side is going to be have the facts behind them. But if I'm not troubled by any politician who says yesterday this is what I was for, and today this is what I'm for. I've got a changed conclusion as a consequence of assessing the same set of facts. That not only doesn't trouble me. That's what I want. I want somebody who's got the capacity to be sufficiently flexible that they'll alter their position if the facts change.